speaking.
And you're watching episode number 34 of Gear65, the weekly gadget review show. And the gadget of the week is...
the E75.
So this is the Nokia E75. This is their new phone in the E series of phones. E series is their enterprise models.
Right.
This is a S60 version 3 phone, so meaning it's not a touchscreen. It's a physical keypad phone. One of the things I realized is that I think Nokia should really stay and continue building good. Because they're very good at it.
They are very good at non-touchsking phones.
And non-touchkings.
If you look at the 5800, I think there's still a lot of things that they need to figure out.
Yeah, they're not very good at building touchscreen user interfaces just yet. Not that there's a problem with their touchscreen user interfaces, but they're so much better with the keypad ones, and I think they're a lot better than a lot of other phones. There's a lot of shortcut keys that you combination keys that if you know how to use, you can press, you can do certain things like copy and paste anywhere, in any application. So that's one of the comments I want to say about it. So the Nokia E75. What's so special about it? I came up with this theory, right? So they had this Nokia E71, which is basically the phone with a full QWERTY keyboard.
Right.
Then they had the Nokia E51, which is their candybar phone.
Right.
So I thought 7 plus 5 become E75. Right? I'll explain a little bit more later on. So let's have a close up and look at the hardware features of this phone. There's a front-facing camera for video calls, as all Nokia E and N series phones have. Okay, let's take a look at the keypad or display. This is a 2.7 inch display.
No, 2.4.
2.4 inch display, yes. Right, 320 by 240 resolution, and it's a pretty good display. And it's a standard LCD display though. This is the keypad, alright. So like for example, you have the home button here, the calendar, email, and then you have the delete button. Right. These buttons are actually one single piece. So basically, right, if I actually press the button on this side, it will be the select button. If I press it inside, it's actually delete button. So
far,
physically one button.
I don't really have any problem pressing the wrong button.
Sometimes, quite rarely, but sometimes I might actually, you have to consciously go and push the sides. 5-way directional pad, as all S60 phones, right? And then you have the normal telephone keypad, as also the strips. Quite touch typeable, no issues with that.
Yeah,
the corners
feel button
might be a little bit, because they're a bit small. All right, let's take a look at the sides. Micro USB port for both charging as well as data, which is good.
I love this.
It's one of the, if I'm not wrong, I could be wrong, because we don't do a lot of Nokia phones, but it could be one of the first few S60 version 3 phones that can charge from USB, from the USB port, and also charge from the normal traditional Nokia charger.
They give you two options.
They even give you the charger and the cable. Micro USB card slot, micro SD card slot. So the keys over here, right, this is actually the volume control key, and then this is actually a voice command button. So you actually, if you take a look, right, if you press and hold this button, you can actually configure it to do voice commands, right? This is a camera button, of course. And the really cool thing about this is that it actually has a 3.5mm headphone jack, so you can actually plug in any headphones for you to listen to your music and stuff.
It's starting to be not so cool anymore because most of the phones have it.
Yeah, most of the phones actually have it. But it's good to see it in this phone.
Yes. And
you have a 3.2 megapixel autofocus camera with a LED flash and self-portrait mirror.
Yeah.
A very nice metal casing behind here.
It's similar as the E71.
Yeah, similar as an E71. Of course, you have the speaker phone right over here. But what is so special about this phone, which is the reason why I actually said it's very similar to the E71, it actually has a QWERTY keyboard as well as this one. At the beginning, we actually had issues like understanding why would you want to put a keypad, and I was like, it's so strange. You're like,
but it's a good idea.
Keypad.
There are people who love the candy bar and still want to, for a certain reason, you need to type long letters.
So that could be possible.
And candy bar phones are good for one thing: SMSing when driving.
Oh dear. Alright, nobody said it. Whenever you see a DK's car,
that's why I'm not using a candy bar phone anymore. I can't.
Okay. Alright, so full QWERTY keyboard, right? The number buttons are on the top. You require to press a certain function key. It's very similar to the E71's keyboard. Right. You actually have a control button here, which is good. You can use the control button to do things like, you can actually control and then navigate left, right to select words. You press control and then control and shift. You press shift, right, to select words. Okay. When you're typing. And then Control C, Control V, you do all the copy and paste stuff, a lot of stuff basically. It's not touch typeable, to be honest. I haven't gotten to be able to touch type with this phone yet, because the keys are very flat. That's one thing about it. They're very flat. They don't protrude out, and there isn't any gap. So when you feel it's almost like flat, slightly a bit. So it's not touch typeable very well. it's not very good at touch typing. That's one thing I don't like about the physical keyboard.
In fact, the N97 keyboard is actually more protruding than...
Yeah, the N97 keyboard protrudes out a lot more than this. So that's one thing about that I wanted to comment about the keyboard. Yeah, it's pretty useful sometimes, right? I mean, if you're going to type, but you have to look at the keyboard when you type.
Yes.
Yeah, that is one thing that we noticed. Alright, so that's basically the hardware stuff, and then the keypad and all. It's pretty standard keypad. You might want to try the keyboard, the physical keyboard yourself, the Qwerty keyboard,
yes,
before you try. Some of you might not like the fact that it's very flat. Personally, I'm quite okay with it.
I'm also very okay with it, actually.
Alright. So let's unlock the phone and let's take a look at some of the features, right? Okay, the front page. This is a standard S60 version 3 stuff, right? You can actually customize all these things. You can want to enable and disable applications to run on here. You can take out the stuff that you don't want. You can add things that you want. You can quickly see your calendar entries. Okay, all the shortcuts here are customizable. This is something that's been famous in the E series. When you push this, right, you can actually change the today screen. Oh, today very noisy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so when you click on this button, right, you can customize a personal, like say, Saturday, Sunday screen, and then you have a work screen.
Yep, this is a very good mode for all the people who are using this for work.
Today must be a pretty interest. Everybody know that we're recording the E75 episode, and they're all making a lot of noises.
Yeah.
Alright, here's another extra feature that they added in, right? So you actually push down, right? You can actually get your notifications will appear here as well, and then not just voicemail, right? And another cool thing that I want to demonstrate as well, for example, right, let's say I actually saved the dummy contact inside there, right? So I can type like DAN, then the name will come out, and then you can actually just do this. Immediately you can do voicemail, send call, and all that. So you can actually search your address book, right, for numbers. I'm not sure whether if I 9123456 no, it doesn't work. But you can actually search for names, so that's a cool thing. So likewise, right, you can open the full keyboard and you can type, like DAN, and immediately, right, the thing will actually appear, and then you are able to launch things such as messages, video calls, or stuff like that. Right. So this is some of the small little improvements on the S60 software that we really like. Of course, S60 is actually able to multitask, so you can press and hold the home button and can switch the applications. They updated the task switcher, so now it's very similar to S60 version 5, which is on the N97. Okay, so the home screen and the menu. And the web browser has been improved as well. I'm actually a bit surprised with this, to be really honest.
Right,
we are right now we're on Tech65's website, and it can actually play Flash. The experience with Flash on this web browser is no different than the one on the N97 or the Samsung Omnia i8-9110HD.
Any web browser that runs Flash.
It's very slow.
Yes.
It's very slow, right? So I'm trying to scroll down. Come on.
Well, it can play Flash, but depends on what type of Flash. If it's a heavy duty Flash, right, most likely the experience is not very good.
Yeah, so as you can see, this our Flash audio player is actually appearing, but the whole thing will be quite laggy. That's one thing that I can actually say.
Yep.
But there is Flash, right? This web browser actually supports Flash. This is probably the same web browser you find on N97. It's you can use it, right? But this is the kind of browser that I will spend most of the time using it to view normal web pages, mobile phone web pages, or text-based web pages, rather than load heavy web pages like Tech65, for example, where we have a lot of Flash videos.
Basically, our website is not mobile friendly.
Yeah. So that is a web browser, and most of some of the features about the Nokia E75. That was the Nokia E75. So what do you think about it actually?
Yeah, it's very, very handy. I think it suits certain user group where they need a candybar and a full Qwerty keyboard.
I think it's a very good all-rounder phone now, right?
Yeah.
it can do a lot of stuff that you actually want it to do, and quickly and stuff like that. It has a simple web browser. Take pictures, listen to music, and there's office applications inside there as well. So and then all the little shortcuts here and there. So it's a pretty good all-rounder phone. And for people who really aren't fond with touchscreens, I know there are people who don't like touchscreens at all.
Right.
This would actually be a very good phone to actually look at. Yeah.
Yep.
And the S60 software, I mean, as you can see when we're navigating through the menus just now, it's actually quite smooth now. It's not.
Yeah, S60 is very mature now.
Yeah, it's quite mature already. So we're quite fond of the Nokia E75.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. You want to send us any questions, right? Or you want to you want to send us a gadget to shoot you. Yeah, Gear65@tech65.org. That's our email address. Right, you can visit our website tech65.org, right, to check out all our previous episodes of our Gear65 podcast. Right, so that's it for this episode. I'm Daniel,
I'm DK.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.